I think if you take a room full of police officers and ask them how many people became interested in this job because you went to a career fair, and probably nobody's going to raise their hand. But then you ask them how many people became interested in the job because either you have a family in law enforcement or a police officer made a positive impact maybe in your life, or maybe they went on a ride along. So I always encourage people to go on a ride along, like go on a ride along with an officer and talk to them, see what they like about it, see what they don't like about it, you know. And it would be interesting to do 2 ride-alongs. It would be interesting to go with like a veteran officer who's been here for a while, and then a younger officer that's been here for less than 2 years, and get their 2 different, you know, that would be interesting to see, you know, what they say. It might be a little different, but it's usually that positive interaction.
Okay.
Every 6 months we're going to go through the testing. We'll do the physical first, and the people that can't pass the physical are done. They don't get to go to the written test. And we found that the tests we give, the police post test, which is given all over the United States, over 30% of the people fail the math section of the test. Lieutenant Bollinger ordered a sample test, so I wanted to see how I did because I haven't taken this test since probably like 1996. And I finished the math with 17 seconds to spare.
Wow.
So it's not
like exactly.
Well, and I didn't have time. Like I would have rather had time to go back over my answers, but I didn't have a chance to get go over them with 17 seconds. But I got 100%. So
okay.
Then all the people that passed the written and the physical agility, they send them a background packet. They have to fill out and send back. The week of May 15th through the 21st is when we do our civil service interviews. So that's the oral interview. That's where they go in front of the civil service panel, and that is also scored. After that, they take the top 20, they make a list, and then they do they finish up all the backgrounds on those 20, and then the week of July 10th through the 14th, the chief and our command staff will bring those 20 applicants in and interview them. Because as of this point, nobody from the police department's actually interviewed them. It's just been the civil service. So we'll probably be sending officers, and I don't know how many, to the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy on the 28th. Now the nice thing is, if that's the Des Moines Academy, the one at Camp Dodge, which is 16 weeks. If the officer has, when they're hired, if they have a 2-year degree in police science or a 4-year degree in criminal justice, they can go to the WIT Academy, which is only 8 weeks.
Okay.
Which is a lot cheaper to send them to, and it's also, they get to go home every night. You know, where they're in Camp Dodge, they're staying in the dorms every night. Last year, we had 54 applicants. And this year, after 2 weeks, we're already at 49. And most of the applications get turned in that last week. So that last week of March is probably where we're going to see most of our applications turned in. We're having an orientation night on April 3rd. So the testing is April 22nd. April 3rd, we're going to bring in whoever wants to come. So once they apply, Val's been sending them an email inviting them to come to this orientation night. And we're going to go over the written test, how to pass the math section, like how to figure out the problems. We'll give them a couple sample questions like that I took from that test. We're going to go over all 4 sections of the written test. So it's the math, report writing, reading comprehension, and grammar. Those are the 4 sections. And most people do really well on the other 3. It's the math that sometimes people struggle with. So anyway, we're going to do the orientation night on the 3rd, and then we're going to also offer all the candidates who show up for that to do the physical agility test. And if they pass it on April 3rd, they don't have to do it again on this 22nd. So that's kind of a, but if they don't pass it that night, they get to take it again on the 22nd. If they fail it on the 22nd, then they're out.